This is another video of the Mia Trike Microlight Ultralight, which is based on a real trike. Many of the parts, CNC machined aluminum, have been done directly from the actual real trike drawings. So this is a direct copy. The use of square tubing as it is done for the main sections of the A-frame, the back and the bottom end. On many of the more modern trikes is done from square tubing, aluminum tubing, because from a logical standpoint, square tubing is a lot more sturdier than round tubing, and this is the reason why this is done on the real trikes, and also because it allows better connections to be made to the square tubing as opposed to a round tubing. When you have a square section, you have a little more rigidity, and so this is the reason the real ones are done, and this is the reason I've selected to do the more scale trikes in this fashion. Did I have square tubing on my previous trikes back when I did in 1980? Yes, I did. But I actually, at that time, the square tubing was a little too much for the particular size batteries and type of batteries, more importantly, that were being used and available at the time. Those were heavy nightcats, and so we had to cut down on, when designing models, we had to cut down on mainly on the frames. And so one of the frames that I show on many of my videos is it actually started from square tubing, and then I went to flat tubing or flat stock aluminum, so it's more rectangular flat stock done in the shape of an A-frame, and that's the reason why those videos show the flat stock and not the square tubing. It's not because it wasn't thought about it before, and because square tubing is anybody's invention, as there's a guy named Mark that keeps claiming that some of the stuff that I'm doing is a copy of his. Mark, go do some research, please, and really take a look at what you're posting and what you're saying, because it really doesn't make sense. These things are done from scale, from real drawings. I got the drawings for the real trike back in the 80s. Is a direct communication with the company that makes some of these, one of the popular companies that make these trikes, and I was communicating with them with the direction of purchasing a real trike, and eventually I got a brochure and I got a pamphlet from them, including quite a bit of drawings on the installation of the trike, the assembly, and so this is where this is coming from, and this is particularly aimed at Mark and some other people who just don't know what the hell they're talking about when they keep making claims that some of the stuff that I'm doing is basically a copy of theirs, which is not. Where were you guys when I was making the trikes, long before you guys were on the map? So give that some thought. And just because you're posting in some groups, which I am no longer a member of, doesn't mean that you have power over what people read. I think people are knowledgeable enough, to do their own research, and when they come across my stuff, and the length of time that I've been posting this stuff, I think they can, put two and two together and figure out themselves, who's been following who. But this video is not about who's been following who. It's about what I am doing and what others are doing. If you're doing your own stuff, you're on your own, and more power to you. But this is the stuff that I've been doing for a long time, and this is what's been gearing towards. Now, if you want to discredit me by posting things that are not true on some of the forums, which I have no control of, I urge you to do a little more research and find out where these things are coming from. Am I the first person to ever do RC trikes? Probably not. But back in the 80s, I remember I never came across anybody that was doing that, and I had talked to many people that were in the business, the real trike and ultralight hang gliding business, and many of these people did not indicate or come across or tell me anybody that was making these things. In fact, I did a demonstration of one of the first trikes that I did back in at the Field Museum in Chicago for a hang gliding club that used to meet there. And at that time, when I showed my first trike, it was quite a hit with many of the guys that were in that club. And everybody was excited to to see, and pretty much all the comments that I got was that was the very first trike, that radio control trike, that somebody was making. So this is where this is coming from, and this video is, like I said, is particularly done to showcase some of the stuff and to give a little history, further history, to already the videos that I've been posting, and to clarify to Mark, who seems to be locked in his own little world, on these particular trikes. So this is where this is coming from, and so again, what some of these are the parts that are true in scale to the real trikes, also called Microlights, Ultralights, Nanolights, Ultraleves, Ultralivianos in Spanish, and some people call them Deltaplanos, Deltaplanes, and Arguello wings, whatever. But and basically boils down to a trike with a reflex type flexible wing or semi-rigid wing. So once again, these are some of the parts that I'm making based on the real trike, all done in aluminum, just like the real parts. This is done in carbon, of course, and again, it's got the same typical connections that is done on a real trike, not on a model of somebody that has been doing models after I've been showing some of my stuff. So and we see here also the crossbar, which is also another part that is done very much like the real thing, except that I introduced some of my own little inventions there to make it a little bit better, and work also for radio control model applications, particularly with the radio control robo pilot, the Mia Microflight robotic pilot that I just showcased on YouTube and some in various forums. So that's all designed to work in conjunction with all those particular parts and features.